Okay. I'm in on foundation slide. A business, before you can become a business person or a person that can run a business, you have to have a step back. That means to say you have to have a mindset of a businessman in the first instance before you can even be talking about business, because business is not for everyone. And there's a lot of reasons why we have to agree with that, because you'll be solving the problem and you'll be validating the market, and at the same time you'll be working through some process. You'll be working through process like revenue, you'll be working through process of like management, you'll be working through process of a rigorous aspect of making business to work. So if you're not kind of a person that can walk through that process, it means you cannot run a business. So before you can even start a business, you have to look at yourself and see if you are a kind of a person that can run a business, because business is of what I can say is depend on who want to run the business. So even if you have idea, if you have capital, everything still boils down to the person that is going to run the business. So if you give me, for example, if you give me, let me say you give me 1 million naira, or you give another person 1 million naira, we both have the same business idea, the same time, the same market. Our result might be different simply because I'm different from him, is different from me. So sometimes when you are talking about business, I used to look at who are those running the business in the first instance, because people that are pushing, people that are driving the business matters a lot. Idea is there, capital is there, everything is established. We are not talking about that, but people that are running the business is it's very, very important to know, because you may have the same resources, and at the end of the day, you will have a different result. So we have to know who will be running the business. The foundation is very, very important, which I'm going to talk about before the end of this presentation. If you look at my screen, I want you to put on a chart in one word. What can you say about this image? I want it to be interactive now. What can you say about this image? And I would like if everyone can participate in this discussion.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Let me try it.
What I can see here is that it's a tiny ant that carry every load.
The tiny ant that carry every load, brilliant. But I want you to put it in the chat room. It's good that you have unmute yourself, fine. But put it on the chat room. I think that will be better. But if you feel like talking, no problem with that. So what comes to your mind when you see this kind of an image? Now, taking responsibility for your troubles varies. Okay. Can we have more, at least 3 or 4 overload? Yeah. A commitment, brilliant. Is carrying what is more than him. Very good. As we can see, this is just like how business starts. Yes, this is just like how business kickstarts. I'm not talking about intermediate business. I'm not talking about business that want to expand. I'm talking about someone that want to start a business from scratch. Okay. And if you look at this image, I intentionally brought this image for us to have some concept. And when people tell you business is hard, this is what they are trying to tell you. And people tell you that it is difficult to succeed in business. This image explains everything. Because in business, you have to have operations, you have to have a marketing department, you have to have a sales department, you have to have a strategy department, and at the same time, you have to have finance. I've mentioned 5 things now, which I think you can take note of that. So these 5 key points, you will be the only one person doing the 5. Are you getting the point? So you will be the only one person building the product or service. You'll be the only one person trying to get customer acquisition. You'll be the same person trying to bring about your ideas and validate in the market. So when people tell you business is hard, bring your CV, go to the market and get a job, this is what they are trying to tell you to avoid, because it's quite different. It's quite difficult rather. But for me, I like to talk about business and I like to teach people about business. And I've tried as much as possible to learn a lot of things regarding business. I've done a lot of businesses. I love to talk about faith, and at the same time, I love to talk about business. Because if you have more business, it means you will have more money. And when you have more money, it means you have more financial stability. So when you have faith and you don't have money, you simply have some difficulty to live in the life of lifestyle. And at the same time, if you have money and you don't have faith, then it's not balanced. So you have to have the two. Are you getting my point? Now, what is most important is you will be the only one starting the business. Before you can hire a team, you'll be the only one trying to struggle to make it works, because business will not work if you don't make it works. This is just simple truth. It's not going to work if you don't make it work. So you are the one that will intentionally try as much as possible to make the business to function. You try as much as possible to make your business to stand in the market. And what I can say with this image before I go to the next slide is never stop trying. You can see the ant is trying. Never stop believing in yourself. Never give up. You can see he's not giving up. And when you come to see him at this condition, somebody says overload. Yes, it is overload, but at the same time, he was able to carry the load, maybe through his mindset or through his strategy and the rest like that. So now I love this quote, and I wanted to share it. I want to share it for us to be able to see and digest the information on this quote, simply because it passes some information. Okay. Because we are from different places and the way we think is different. The resources we have access to is different. The way we do business in Middle East is quite different the way you do business in Nigeria. Even within Nigeria setup, the way you run a business in Lagos is different from the way you run a business in Kano or Kaduna or Abuja. So number one is what we call awareness. You need to know where you are coming from, and at the same time, you need to know where you are going to. So before you even come to the market, you need to understand yourself. So what is your strength? Sometimes you use SWOT analysis to know your strengths, your weakness, your options, and then your target, and then the threat that you have. So everybody doesn't have access to the same resources. We don't have access to the same market, but we want to do business. We want to run a business. So before you fully committed to your business, you need to understand yourself first. So what is your strength? And then at the same time, you need to understand what is your weakness. So you need to know where you are coming from, and you need to know how much you have, and you need to know how much you want to achieve or what you want to achieve in your business. At the same time, you see a lot of people, they will tell you start small, think big. Start small, think big. I can think big. I want to own a lot of things. I can think big. I want to have maybe $100 million in my account, whereas my account is zero as I speak. Then you have to rethink again. If you cannot generate, if you are the type that cannot even generate $1,000, why are you thinking about $50,000? It means you are not thinking smart enough. Okay. You need to take a step before another steps, right? Sometimes when you tell people that, okay, this business will give you, let's say 50,000 naira, for example, we'll tell you the 50,000 is very small. Yes, we know it is very small, but can you generate 50,000 naira from scratch? I'm not talking about salary now. I'm not talking about working for somebody and generate money. I'm talking about business here. Can you generate 50,000 naira from your own personal business as a profit? So you need to think about it. If I can generate 50,000 naira personally from my business, okay, completely profit 50,000 naira, it means I can generate 50 million naira. If I can sell one, I can sell 100. This is the concept. If I can sell one, I can sell 100. But just have to make sure you generate momentum for yourself first before you start thinking big and bigger. Are you getting the idea? Because you are starting from scratch, you are starting from zero. Okay. So this concept is very, very important. You can think big. You can think ownership of very big manufacturer company. You can think big of financial status, but you need to start from one. Everybody starts from one. Dangote start from one. He started from zero. If you listen to a lot of interview from him, he will tell you that he started from zero. He did not inherit, though his background, they are wealthy, but he did not inherit any money from his father. So everybody start from zero, 1, 10, 20, 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 1 million, like that. So why am I saying this? But it's quite very important, but that you need to know yourself, and at the same time, you need to think big, but start from one, then have a mindset of growth, and then you can now move forward. This is very, very important. And at the same time, I'll be talking about mindset again, because we are talking about how to build a business. So we need to talk about mindset. Never underestimate mindset. In business, someone told me that mindset and strategy is the most important thing in business, because sales is very important also. I can tell you for free, sales is very, very important. If you cannot generate sales, it means you cannot run a business. If you don't know how to sell, you have to go and learn how to sell before you can call yourself a businessman. If you don't know how to sell anything, then how do you generate revenue? But mindset is very, very important. Mindset, because if you have a psychological broken mindset, you will lost along the line when you're running a business, because you'll be having some personal decisions, you will be taking some business decisions, and then if you don't know how to control your emotions, if you don't know how to relate with humans, if you don't know how to do some management, if you don't have a very strong discipline, it may be quite difficult for you to survive in running a business. So, in fact, only one mindset alone is enough to discuss today, but I will just walk through and make 1 or 2 points regarding mindset. Because I can tell you that most people are trapped in a wrong mindset. This is the first thing that we have to look into before you can even say you want to run any business. If you cannot win internally, you cannot win externally. It is just the truth. If you believe this business will not succeed, then it will not succeed by lucky, because you have already killed the winning of the business intentionally. Are you getting my point? So that's why most of the time when I have a presentation, I used to start with mindset, especially from back home. A lot of people having wrong mindset, negative mindset. They believe government is the problem, is the mindset. So something that you have to take action, you will not take action. You believe government have to do it for you is a mindset, and it's wrong. You believe in scarcity. You believe you cannot have enough money. You believe you cannot be rich because you think being rich is for some people, it's not for you. It's a wrong mindset. It's a very, very big wrong mindset. And here I would like to make some little clarification here when we are talking about business. Sometimes we talk about money also. You see, we quite have a wrong mindset when it comes to money. Money is just a tools. When we start talking about billions or trillions or whatever amount of money you can call, money is not the issue. Money is just a tools. It's just like an instrument you want to use. So having a lot of money is not issue. It's not the problem. The problem is who is controlling that money. Are you getting my point? So on whose hand is the money is? Because if I have a lot of money, I can use it to have impact on my society. I can use it to assist a lot of people. I can use it to go for ads, to go for Bora. I can use it to sponsor people for programs, for empowerment, because I have a lot of money. And at the same time, you have a lot of money, I can use it to sponsor terrorists. I can use it to what do you call it? To to do a lot of bad things you can think of. So money itself is not the problem, but the problem is who is controlling the money. And what we need when we are talking about business is when you talk about business, you have to have money mindset. You have to think about money. You have to talk about money because we are talking about business. If you are talking about charity or foundation, then we may not be talking about money because you want to assist more people. It's your passion. You want to give it out for free. You just like giving people money and just like that. But when you talk about business, it means you have to have a correct mindset regarding money, and at the same time, you have to have a correct mindset before you can start a business. And I will give you one example before I go away from this slide. Is, for example, let's say planning to start a new business and my financial target is $1 million. For an example. So, and then, if you have a target or a goal, you have to have a date. You have to attach it with a date. So if it is open, it means it's not even a goal, because part of the requirement of goal is to have a deadline. So in the next 3 months, I want to have $1 million in my account. Then I have to do business calculation. So what am I going to sell that will give me $1 million in 3 months? Okay. Then I will start to do my calculations. How many customers did I need? How much will I need to sell in 1 month? How much will I need to sell in 3 weeks? How much would I need to sell in 2 weeks, 1 week? Okay, let's go about the rules of 1%. It means if I talk to 10 customers, I'm expecting 1 person to buy from me. So I have to do my calculation well. So how many customers will I need times 10 of those customers for them to buy from me with this amount of money for me to be able to get my $1 million in 3 months? So after my 3 months of doing my calculation or of running my business, my target is $1 million, right? After that 3 months, I was able to generate maybe $50,000. Are you getting my point? It means I'm still on the track. It doesn't mean because I did not meet up with 1 month, 3 month target of $1 million, I was able to generate 50 million. It doesn't mean I'm a failure. It still means I still have to do more. It means I still have to look into my business critically and see which way to swing and have my financial target. Are you getting my point? So this is why we say think big, start. Even when you get a small result, still think big and keep moving, because this is the only way for you to be able to expand. Because if you don't have a big mindset, it's very difficult to be big. It doesn't come by lucky. So, and if you don't have the mindset, to be quite difficult for you to be able to reach a bigger goal, because you cannot just get there by lucky if you don't have the mindset of being in a bigger business. And with what I know, with people that have won in a lot of businesses, like the bigger the giant entrepreneur, like start mentioning them with a lot of them, like Aliko Dangote, like Femi Otedola, and the rest like that. Even internationally, we know a lot of them. They don't play. They don't play their games in the back end. They don't play their games in the ground floor. They play at the top. And when you see the way they walk, the way they think, they are friends. You will see Aliko Danko, the next person you see beside him is Otedola. You can see their friends. You can see the way they move. You can see their mindset. You can see the way they do their things. They don't play, they don't just take a business and just go into business. No, they have a very big eye mindset. They have a very big mindset, and they try to play at the top. And what are they doing? They're achieving their games. Are you getting my point? So, what am I trying to establish in this slide is you have to start somewhere. You don't need any permission to start a business. You don't need any investors to start a business. You don't need you don't need you only need three things with my experience. You only need three things. You need a small amount of money and a very hardworking and perseverance. You only need these three things to start a business. And that is truth. You cannot say you will start a business with zero amount of money. No, it won't work. You need a little amount of money, but you need to be very, very hardworking, super hardworking, as they call it. And at the same time, you need to be consistent. You have to have perseverance, because you have a lot of drawback. You have to learn how to push. You have to learn how to push. And at the same time, you have to have a bigger mind, even when what you have in your account is very small. Okay, now I will go to the next slide. So if you want to start a business and you are starting from scratch and you are a first timer, one of those things you also have to look into is you should stop being generic. You have to be specific. And what I mean by being specific is you cannot be in two places at a time. You cannot be running two businesses at a time. I know they will tell you millionaires, they have multiple sources of income, they have this, they have that. Yes, it's true, but it did not start from all. It did not start from there. Are you getting my point? When you even do your research, maybe on Google or on YouTube, even go there and check for Dangote, how Dangote started his business. He moved from Kano and moved to Lagos and started selling grains like rice, started selling all these grains food products. This is where he started his business. Before he now starts importing cement and the rest like that, before he start moving to manufacturing of cement and the rest like that. So you have to focus on one. This is the beginning. If you have 10 businesses, you will be sharing your resources on 10 businesses. You'll be sharing your time on 10 businesses. You'll be sharing your money. You'll be sharing thinking. Why don't you just focus on one first? Let it move up. Let it generate a lot of money first. At least for 2-3 years, everybody knows you with one. Then you can now then diversify. Because when you put your effort in one, you will definitely get the result faster than splitting all your effort. If you want to do business, make sure you start with one, but at least you have to be online. And at the same time, you have to run the business by yourself because you're starting from scratch, because your business is like a baby and nobody can take care of a baby than his mother. So you have to look at your business and you have to do it without any delegation. You have to be the one that will run the business from the beginning. And at the same time, you need to put in your minds cash flow, which is very important before you run out of money, because most of the time businesses fail because they run out of money, as we all know. Most of the time, businesses fail because they run out of money. So before you run out of your money, your capital that you have saved that you want to use to run your business, it means you have to focus more on cash flows. It means before you pick a business idea, before you pick a business that you want to run, you have to look at the cash flow. Is it a kind of a business that give you cash immediately? Okay, not a business that will not give you cash because you need to run the business with cash. So this is quite very important. Now, I would like us to discuss this slide, which will be my last or second to the last slide, because I did not have much information here. Maybe when we talk about growth in the next presentation, we can discuss more. Now, what not to do? I decided not to put it on the slide. I put it here. So I'll be looking down. So you'll be seeing me looking down because I have some points here. So I want us to jot it down so that we can also part of this discussion. Okay. But if I put it on the slide, it means people just say, give me the slide, and then they'll be looking at the slide. But when you jot it down, it will be with you personally, even without saying the slide. So this is my idea. So I would like you to get a pen and then your notepad so that at least you can write something down for these points. Are we good to go? Anyone can respond? I'm trying to check chat. Want us to get a pen? Your notepad? Let's write something down. Number one, what not to do. Why did I choose what not to do? Because we all know what to do sometimes. And this is information era. A lot of information is outside. A lot of books is in library. A lot of discussion is going on, and a lot of things is going on in our minds. So we are even confused where to start. We don't even know how to even start. We don't even know which business should I do, which one should I not do, because we have a lot of information outside. So because of that, I would like us to talk about, they call it in Arabic, mafhum mukhalafa. Mafhum mukhalafa means understanding the opposite. I want to understand the opposite so that when I understand the opposite, then I'll be able to get what I need to get right. So I don't need to tell you what you need to do because we may know what to do, but what we should not do, then if we know that, you'll be able to guide us on the right path. Now, number one is, I'm going to mention 10, and then we can call it a day. Number one is passion. Identifying your passion. I want us to write it down. See, many times I've heard of this passion or no passion of a thing. And I can tell you, when I was running my MBA, there was a lecturer that was also talking about passionism or passion in running a business. But after some understanding and my personal research and development, personally, I'm seeing that sometimes being passionate with a business sometimes doesn't work. And I will tell you why it doesn't work. For an example, business is about customer. It's not about me. I don't need to be selfish. I'm not going to sell myself. People are coming to buy what I'm trying to sell. So if somebody is coming to buy what I'm trying to sell, it means the business is not about me, it's about them. So if I'm bringing my passion to the market and the market does not require my passion, it means I will struggle to have sales. So in reversing engineering, it means I have to go to the market, get the market requirement, get the market needs, or try to solve problem for the market. Then now I will now make that problem I want to solve my passion. I don't know if you are getting my point. If I like a house that is having a lot of decoration, a lot of lighting, This is my own passion. This is where I like my house to be. And I want to sell the house. People are coming, they said, there's a lot of light here. We don't like this house. There's a probability that some people will not like the house because there's a lot of light, right? But in a situation whereby I tried to go to the market, I tried to get market requirements. What does people want? How they want the house to be? And I came back home. I tried to make the same house the way people wanted it. Then I make that design my passion. Then I'll have sales. Some people, I intentionally mentioned this. I'm not saying you don't need passion, but you have to have a passion in the right corner, a passion in the right dimension, not your personal passion. It has to be a market passion. This is what I'm trying to say. Some people, they like baking, is my passion. Some people, they like to bake bread. But the market you are taking bread to, you have a high competitor, or they don't require bread. How do you sell? How do you make sales? Some people think about anything you can think of in terms of passion. So when you are trying to identify a passion, you have to have some clarity with the market first. You have to understand what market needs, then come back home and make that your passion and then go back to the market. So this is the reason why I said what not to do is to have a personal passion and trying to force it on people to buy, you will get it wrong. This is number one. Number two, direction over speed. Direction over speed. I just want to run the business. I just want to have speed. We're not supposed to be here by the next three months, by the first quarter of the year. We're supposed to be here. We're supposed to have this revenue by this time. You have to have a clear direction. If we are very slow, your direction should be clear. Your financial direction is very important. Your vision board should be cleared. This is where we are now. This is where we are going to. Your goal target, your goal target the next 5 years, the next 10 years. Though we know we can die anytime. Nobody's doubting that. But you have to plan. If you not die in the next 10 years, what will happen? If you not die in the next 5 years, what will happen? If I have a lot of money in the bank, I want to have savings for 1 year. Okay, I want to have a savings for 1 year, and I want to have like $1 million in my account after 1 year. Somebody will now tell you, what about if you die tomorrow? Yes, I can even die today. Well, the 1 million is there for my family. They can still use it if I have a savings on 1 million naira. So why are you scared to have savings? Why scared? If you say you will die in the next 5 years and you do not die after 10 years, what are you going to do? So it is quite very important that we define our direction over speed. People used to say it, but we don't really take it into action, which is quite very important. Okay? That is number what? Anyone? Let me check.
Number one.
That is number two. The first one is passion, getting your passion right. The second one
That's
is
number
direction.
two.
That is number two. Then number three is mindset. I'll still go back to mindset again because mindset is everything. Everything comes inside out. Your thoughts, your thinking will determine what you will do. And what you will do will determine the result you will get. And the result you will get will determine your destination. It's as simple as ABC. So everything comes inside. Internally, if you don't get it right, sometimes if I want to read or if I want to study something that is very critical, I may decide to go to library. I may decide to go to coffee shop. I may decide to stay in my office. I may decide to come home and just lock the door. So it is me, I will know where I'm more productive. I will think, I know where I can sit and get what I want to think about and get it right. Maybe I will start it after Fajr, or I will sleep Kailula from Zuhr to Asri, then immediately after Salat al-Asri, then I will go and study it. I will just put it in the right way where I know I can have enough time. I'll put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I'll just put my phone in wardrobe there and lock it. So I'll not have any internet glitching or whatever. Then I'll be able to study what I want to study. So mindset is very, very important. If you have a wrong mindset, you cannot take you to anywhere. If you are not positive, you cannot get positive. So if you believe there's scarcity, you cannot get abundant. The mindset is quite very, very important. Even Allah says, wherever you put me, that is where you find me. So if you believe it's not possible, it's not possible. You believe it's not possible, how do you think it's going to be possible? Are you getting my point? So addressing mindset is quite very important. And we should not, I cannot overstress it enough. And that is number 3. Number 4, you have to think long term. You have to think long term. Most of the billionaires you see, they think long term. They don't think short term. They like to see things in a longer time. Why? Because it pays. For an example, and I'll give you a very small example here. Maybe I want to buy a plot of land and I just decide to go to local government and get master plan of my state and then look at the master plan. Local government, they can give you, no problem with that. I want to see where there will be express road in the next 5-10 years in the future. They will tell you the express road will pass this side. Okay. It means in the next 5 years or 10 years, somebody will come as a governor that will make this place an express road. Okay. I want to secure just 2 plots of land here beside expressway. And after securing the land, just make sure you fence it and put the gate and lock it. So you have to wait. And this is the way most of billionaires, millionaires, rich people, this is the way they think. They think long term. They think 5 years minimum. Imagine I bought that plot of land 100 naira. And then after 5 years, after 10 years, even if I die, the key of the house is still on my table. My family can make use of it. So after 5-10 years, now somebody now came as a governor, then make the road expressway. Then that place will be what? Times 10 the price, times 20 the price. I get the idea. So the same thing happens to all businesses. You have to think long time. If you know you want to start a business and you know you cannot run the business for 5 years, don't even start. Don't even dare going into that business. If you know you cannot run a business minimum of 3 and sell it or 5 years, why do you want to start it? Because business does not grow in 1 year, 2 years. It takes time. So when people have started knowing you, then you say you want to stop. It doesn't work that way. Are you getting my idea? So you have to think long term, which is the point number 4. I think number 5, growth and learning. You have to learn every day. You have to read. You have to have a dedicated time for studying about your business and businesses. And at the same time, I would like to say this for free, prepare to fail. Yes. Part of those things that people will not tell you regarding business is failure. You will one day or two they fail. That is just the nature of business because there's a learning curve in businesses. But you have to take a risk that when you fail, it's not going to weigh you down 100%. Because you definitely lose because it's part of the system. It's just part of the process of the business. Go and ask Dangote today, will tell you he has lost billions, trillions in businesses before getting to his position today. Ask other people also. They will tell you their failure stories. So if you want to be a businessman, if you want to run a business, failure will definitely come. You should be expecting it. You don't plan to fail. We are not saying you will plan to. No, we are not preaching that. What we are saying is we just come naturally because you have to learn one or two things along the line. Are you getting my point? So you have to learn about growth, and at the same time, you have to learn about how to improve your businesses. The next point is customer centric. Customer centric. What do I mean by customer centric? It means you have to focus more on your customer, not about yourself, not about your ideas, but about your customer. And when you read about Jeff Bezos very well, the CEO of Amazon, when you study the way he runs his business, is customer oriented person. he always want to satisfy customer 1001%. And even Steve Jobs says, when you treat a customer very well, the customer will do the advert for you. You don't need to spend a lot of money on marketing or sales. Just over satisfy one person, that person will be your ambassador, and it will be the one person to campaign about your business. Look at Elon Musk with Tesla. Elon Musk, Tesla, go to YouTube today. You will not see Tesla advertisement. Nobody's advertising for Tesla on YouTube. Nobody's advertising on Facebook or Instagram Reel for Tesla. He built his car. When you drive Tesla on the street, everybody will look at it. This is Tesla. And it's true. That is his mindset. He said, I'm not going to advertise. Instead of spending my money on advertisement, I will spend that money on the product. When the product gets to the market will, the product will call the customer to come back and buy from me. Are you getting my point? So you have to be over-satisfied customer. Sometimes people will say, no, the customer is not always right. Sometimes they want to, being a customer, they want to overdo it and the rest like that. No, you just have to take it easy with them. You have to understand them. You have to satisfy them. Because if a customer give you a positive review, others clients will look into it and they will start to consider you to buy from you. This is number 6. Number 7, I think I've mentioned that, but I will mention it again. Controlling failure, because failure will definitely come. And at the same time, you have to control your cash. You have to control your cash. If you are running a business, you have to have emergency fund, because business will request money anytime. So you have to have backup financially. It's very, very, very important. So when you make money from your business, you can spend maybe 10% to yourself, 80% return it back to that business. When you make another money, return the money back to the business. Just for example, you make 100 naira on the business, spend 20 naira on yourself and your family, the remaining 80 naira, return it back to the business. Don't save it. Don't save it. Yes, I've mentioned that you have to have emergency fund. Yes, but make sure you return the profit back to the business to have more money coming, money coming. And when you have more money coming, there's a 60, 20-20 rules. So you turn 20-60 back to the business, you save 20, you spend 20. So, but when you have a profit, you spend all the profit at the same time. And at the same time, the business request for fund, maybe you request for product, or you order for a product, or somebody that have sold a business for asks for a refund, they don't have money, their business will be in a problem. So I hope that is clear enough. Then number 8 is, I think I've mentioned it before. I'll mention it again. Money is a tools. Money control or money mindset is very, very important, because if you don't have money, it's very difficult to run any business, sincerely. So you have to have at the back of your mind that I have 1,000 naira. What business can I do that I'll spend this 1,000 naira to the market and it will come back to give me 1.5, if not 2,000 naira. So this is the way businessmen think. So it's very, very important that you have a money mindset and you have a money cash flow when you are running your business. Number 9, your business exists to solve problem. Okay, businesses exist to solve problem. So you have to solve real problem, not just virtual problem. So if your business solve real problem, you will see customer knocking your door in the midnight because they have problem that your business is solved. But if you're not in a business that is not really solving real problem, it's not really solving problem that people are ready to pay for. So it's quite very difficult for you to survive. And when you look at people that are winning a business, you can see that businesses are solving real problem. And when we are talking about solving problem, don't just overthinking. Don't just make it big unnecessarily. Even you can sit down and even in your street, what are the things that are broken that you can fix, that you can pay for? So businesses solve problems for solution in ton of money. This does it. So what do you think you lack that when you bring from another state to your state, people will buy in your state? What do you think this community does not have that when I bring it for them, they are ready to pay for it? Can you just go to the market and do your research and get some samples and just start, have big mind, just start little and see if it works? Because you have to validate before you invest a huge amount of money. So if you don't validate, then you started getting shops, you started painting, you started doing advertisement, and at the end of the day, your product or your service does not fit the market, then you will come back losing a lot of money. So this is what most people don't get right. You need to test run first, even if you have a huge amount of money. No, test run first, listen to the market, get feedback, go back home, do your assignment, increase the volume a little bit, see the reaction, go back to the market again, and then if the market is responding that 2 plus 2 is 4, then keep on. Sometimes market will tell you 2 plus 2 is 5. If it is 5, agree with the market because it is the market that's going to pay you, not you. Are you getting my idea? So this is number 9. And then last one is it's very close to that number 9, which is number 10 is very close to the number 9, which is your business should solve problem also. Your business should solve problem, meaning that before you can be thinking of going to the market, making sure that your business is giving the market what it needs as a solution, what it needs as wants. Because human being, we need 2 things, what we need and what we want. So if your business can give them what they want in exchange of money, or if your business can give them what they need in exchange of money, or if your business can solve a problem in exchange of money. So these are just the 3 things that you need to focus more on running a business. I think by this point, we have to stop here. This is exactly 1 hour. I know we started late, but I would like to stop here. And if we can take 1 or 2 questions or clarification before we call it a day. If you have any questions, if you have clarifications or you have contributions, let's hear from you. So if not, we are going to stop now. And next time we're talking about how to grow the business. Now we know how to start the business. Then we're looking at it and how to grow the business, inshallah, in probably a next section. Thank you everyone for coming. I appreciate your presence. Jazakumullahu kulla khair. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.